Namaste.
We, the students of Vidya Parampara, are happy to present the story of a staunch devotee of the Devi who acquired wonderful erudition and became one of the greatest poets the world has seen.
Long, long ago, there lived one of the world's greatest poets, Kalidasa. He lost his parents at the age of 5 and was brought up by a cowherd. Kalidasa grew up into a handsome youth but was uneducated. He was often found at the village temple dedicated to goddess Kali and hence earned the name Kalidasa. Meanwhile, the king of Varanasi was in search of a groom for his beautiful and talented daughter.
I am worried about Vidyottama. How do I find a match who is equal to her in education and talent?
I can think of one who is most suitable for Vidyottama, the scholar Vararuchi.
Yes, Vararuchi is a great scholar, but it is difficult to please Vidyottama.
We will at least suggest it to her. Let us see how she responds.
Vidyottama was very proud of her knowledge. She spoke to her parents about her expectations.
You should look for a groom who can defeat me in a debate on the scriptures, and only then I will marry him.
Vararuchi accepted Vidyottama's challenge, but she neither liked him nor was she interested in marrying him.
Oh, Vararuchi is a very learned man and he may defeat me. Let me play a trick on him.
Vararuchi came to the court to debate with Vidyottama.
I will not speak during this debate. Instead, we'll use gestures to ask questions. You should understand and give me answers accordingly.
Vidyottama posed her first question by raising one of her fingers. Unfortunately, Vararuchi did not understand. He accepted defeat, which made Vidyottama very happy. Vararuchi felt he had been conned and shamed.
Oh, this is so insulting. How do I avenge my defeat, that too against a king's daughter?
As this thought crossed his mind, Vararuchi saw a man sitting on the branch of a tree. He was trying to chop down the very same branch on which he was seated. The man was none other than Kalidasa.
Please stop, or you will fall down.
How does it bother you?
Vararuchi understood that there was no point in arguing with such a foolish man and walked away. He had walked only a short distance when the branch which Kalidasa was chopping gave way and Kalidasa fell down. Kalidasa now ran behind Vararuchi.
Sir, please wait. I want to ask you a question. How did you predict that I was going to fall down?
This was not any kind of prediction. Anyone who saw you chopping the tree the way you did would have known that you were going to fall down.
You are a great astrologer. That's why you predicted it so correctly.
No, I am not an astrologer.
Sir, you are an astrologer. Please tell me what's going to happen in my future life.
I will get this foolish man to marry Princess Vidyottama. This will be my way of avenging my defeat at her hands. Maybe you will marry a princess later in life.
Princess, there aren't any princesses here.
If you just do the way I tell you to, my prediction will come true.
Vararuchi took Kalidasa to his house and dressed him up like a great scholar and gave him a basket of flowers. Vararuchi and Kalidasa then went to the palace. On the way, Vararuchi told Kalidasa to shower the king with flowers and bless him by saying Om Swasti. Kalidasa nodded his head as if he had understood everything. Soon they reached the palace.
The king is there.
I must shower the king with these flowers and say, Oh no, I forgot the word. What was it? Shatri, Shastra. Got it. Ushtra.
What did you just say? Ushtra, you called me a camel.
Vararuchi intervened and saved the situation.
No, Maharaj. He has composed a new poem wherein the first letter of each of the lines begins with U, Sh, T, Ra, which is supposed to be a new kind of blessing for you.
How wonderful! It is indeed a great privilege to meet such a scholarly person.
Allow me to introduce Pandit Kalidasa, who is here to debate with Princess Vidyotama.
I am very happy to see him come here and accept Vidyottama's challenge.
The only condition he has put across is that he will argue with the princess mutely, just the same way she debated with me.
The king accepted this condition, and a date was fixed for the debate on the scriptures. On the day of the debate, Vararuchi had a piece of advice for Kalidasa.
Kalidasa, you have to be extremely cautious. Had I not given an explanation the other day, the king would have been angered by what you said. In today's debate, use only your hands and don't open your mouth. Otherwise, you will lose your chance to marry the princess.
The silent debate began, and Vidyotama posed her questions to Kalidasa. The princess was impressed by Kalidasa's good looks and wanted him to win. As the debate progressed, Kalidasa, without understanding the real meaning of the questions posed, gave answers without any thought. Princess Vidyotama was convinced with his answers and acknowledged Kalidasa as a great scholar.
Their marriage was conducted with great pomp and show. She went to live with him in his hut and was astonished with his simplicity. The next morning, she heard a camel's sound and recalled the incident of Kalidasa calling her father a camel.
I can hear the sound of an animal. What animal is that?
Utra?
You mean Ushtra, right?
Yes, Ushtra.
This is such a simple Sanskrit word, and you are struggling to pronounce it.
Sanskrit? I have not read anything in my entire life.
Are you not a scholar?
No, I am a cowherd.
A cowherd?
Vidyotama understood that she had been tricked by Vararuchi. In a fit of anger, she told Kalidasa that she cannot accept a cowherd to be her husband.
Kalidasa, overcome with grief, left the house immediately. Vidyotama felt bad for her harsh behavior, but it was too late as Kalidasa had already left. Kalidasa felt very hurt by Vidyotama's words.
How do I become a scholar? Yeah, there's the temple of goddess Kali. I will pray to her and ask her to give me knowledge.
Kalidasa began to meditate on the goddess Kali. He neither ate food nor drank water for many days. Kalidasa tried to kill himself as he felt that the goddess would not grant him his wish.
Just then, the goddess appeared before him and blessed him with jnana. Kalidasa fell at goddess Kali's feet and profusely thanked her for her grace. Feeling very happy, he went back home.
He is back, and I am feeling very happy. Asti kaschit vagvisheshaha?
By the grace of goddess Kali, I have managed to learn Sanskrit. It is because of your encouragement is that I have gained knowledge. Henceforth, I shall consider you as my guru, and I shall begin my 3 compositions with each of the words you just said.
Saying this, he left his wife behind and went away. Vidyotama stood helplessly watching Kalidasa leave her. Thus began his compositions. Beginning with the word Asti, he composed Kumara Sambhavam. This epic describes the birth of Kumara, the son of Lord Shiva and goddess Parvati.
अस्त्युत्तरस्यां दिशि देवतात्मा हिमालयो नाम नगाधिराजः पूर्वापरौ तोयनिधि विगाह्य स्थितः पृथिव्या इव मानदण्डः.
Beginning with the word Kaschit, he composed Meghadutam. This work describes a yaksha who had been banished by his master to a remote region, asking a cloud to take a message to his wife.
कश्चित् कान्ता विरह गुरुणा स्वाधिकारात् प्रमत्तः शापेनास्तङ्गमितमहिमा वर्षभोग्येण भर्तुः यक्षश्चक्रे जनकतनया स्नानपुण्योदकेषु स्निग्धच्छाया तरुषु वसतिं रामगिर्याश्रमेषु.
Beginning with the word Vak, he composed Raghu Vamsham. The Mahakavya describes the kings of the Raghu dynasty.
वागार्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थ प्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ.
Kalidasa presented his works in the courts of many kings. His favorite was the court of King Bhoja at Dhara. One day, in his court, the king threw a challenge to the scholars present there.
Would any of you know how to compose a verse ending with tatam, tatam, tam, tatatam, tatam, ta?
Everybody in the court was baffled, thinking how anyone could compose a verse with meaningless words. But Mahakavi Kalidasa immediately came up with a verse.
When the queen was climbing up the stairs to meet King Bhoja, the bowl of sandalwood paste from her hands fell down the stairs, making the sound tatam tatam tam tatam ta.
Kalidasa, you are a true genius.
Inspired by the happenings in the court, Mahakavi Kalidasa wrote a play titled Malavika Agnimitram, which was well received, and followed it up with Abhignana Shakuntalam. Both these plays brought a lot of name and fame to him.
King Bhoja and Mahakavi Kalidasa became very good friends, but they had a misunderstanding over a trivial issue.
Kalidasa, you should write a poem in my praise.
Not denying the fact that you are a great king, but I do not focus to write poems in praise of human beings.
You stay in my court and still refuse to write a poem in my praise. I find this very strange and confusing.
Upset by King Bhoja's words, Kalidasa left his kingdom and went to live in a far-off village. King Bhoja was anxious as many days had passed since Kalidasa left his kingdom.
The king sent his men in search of Kalidasa, but they were unable to find him. The king then thought of a plan to bring back Kalidasa, and the next day he made an announcement in the court.
A lakh of rupees would be awarded to the person who comes up with a new poem. The poem must be totally new.
The king met all the pandits and told them to reject all the poems till such time Kalidasa comes up with his poem. Many poets tried their luck in reciting a new poem, but all their poems were rejected.
Mahakavi Kalidasa got to know of the announcement made by the king and immediately understood his plan. He wrote a new poem and called a villager who was passing by his hut.
Meet King Bhoja and tell him you wrote this poem. He will reward you handsomely.
I am neither a scholar nor a poet.
Nothing will happen to you as long as you do what I say. You will also get the reward announced by the king.
The villager went to the court of King Bhoja and read out the poem given to him by Kalidasa.
Oh, King Bhoja, 91 crores of gold coins did your father once borrow from me? Isn't it time now to return the money?
Everyone in court was shocked on hearing this poem.
I know you have heard this poem before.
If we say that we have heard this poem before, then the king would have to pay 91 crores of gold coins.
If we say we haven't heard this before, the king will have to give him the reward announced, as this will be considered as a new poem.
Oh king, I deserve an award for this poem if you haven't heard it before.
Take this award. I am immensely pleased with your poetic skills, for this poem is a new one. Do tell me if you wrote this poem on your own?
No, yes Maharaj.
Don't lie, for you will be punished. You can keep the award, but speak out the truth.
A scholar in my village wrote this, Maharaj.
It can be no one else than Kalidasa. Where is your village? I would like to meet him.
The villager took the king to his village and showed him Kalidasa's house.
Kalidasa, only you could have thought of such a clever poem. I apologize for the inappropriate demands.
As you please, Maharaj.
Thus, by the blessings of Goddess Kali, Mahakavi Kalidasa rose to fame and is considered to be one of the greatest poets of all time. His poetic skills and command over the Sanskrit language is incomparable. We hope you enjoyed this presentation. Dhanyavadaha.
ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಮೂಡಿತೋ ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗಿತೋ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಮೂಡಿತೋ ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗಿತೋ ಬಾನಾಗೆ ರಂಗ ಚಲಿ ತೆರ ನೆರಿ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಬಂದ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಮೂಡಿತೋ ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗಿತೋ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಮೂಡಿತೋ ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗಿತೋ ಎಳ ಬಿಸಿಲು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೂ ಚೆಲ್ಲಾಡೈತೆ ಎಲ ಮ್ಯಾಗಿನ ಮಂಜು ನೀ ಪೊಳಗುಡ್ತೈತೆ ಎಳ ಬಿಸಿಲು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೂ ಚೆಲ್ಲಾಡೈತೆ ಎಲೆ ಮ್ಯಾಗಿನ ಮಂಜು ಹನಿ ಪೊಳಗುಡ್ತೈತೆ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಆರುತ್ತಿದೆ ಕಿಚಿಪಿಚಿ ಎನ್ನುತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಆರುತ್ತಿದೆ ಕಿಚಿಪಿಚಿ ಎನ್ನುತ್ತಿದೆ ಮಂಗ ಮರಗೇರುತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಪ್ಪ ಇಕೊಂಬ ಎಗರುತ್ತಿದೆ ಯಾಕ್ಲೇ ಅನ್ನತಣ್ಣ ಗುರುಗುಡ್ತೀಯ ಮಂಗ ಮರಗೇರುತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಕೊಂಬೆ ಇಕೊಂಬೆ ಎಗರುತ್ತಿದೆ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಮೂಡಿತೋ ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗಿತೋ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಮೂಡಿತೋ ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗಿತೋ ಬಾನಾಗೆ ರಂಗ ಚಲಿ ತೆರ ನೆರಿ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಬಂದ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಮೂಡಿತೋ ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗಿತೋ ಆಕಾಶದಾಗೆ ಬಣ್ಣ ಬಳದೋನ್ಯಾರು ಈ ಬೆಟ್ಟ ಗುಡ್ಡಗಳ ಮಡದೋನ್ಯಾರು ಮರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಣ್ಣ ಇಟ್ಟೋನ್ಯಾರು ಹಣ್ಣ ಒಳಗೆ ರುಚಿಯ ತುಂಬೋನ್ಯಾರು ಓಹೋ ಆಹಾ ಓಕಳ ಓಕರಿಯಾ ಓಮರಿಯಾ ಓಮರಿಯಾ ಓ ಕೆಂಚ ಓ ಚೌರ ಇಂದು ಈ ಭೂಮಿ ಮಗೆ ನನ್ನ ನಿನ್ನ ತಂದೋರು ಯಾರು ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಮೂಡಿತೋ ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗಿತೋ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಮೂಡಿತೋ ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗಿತೋ ಬಾನಾಗೆ ರಂಗ ಚಲಿ ತೆರ ನೆರಿ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಬಂದ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಮೂಡಿತೋ ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗಿತೋ